I guess my timing for that hyper Bitcoinization or super cycle event is after 2024, maybe somewhere between 2024 and 32.
It's all kind of bad news because I can't see a 1 year bear market again. I think with the advent of this new sophistication in the market, it's a lot harder to get a mania and a blow off top, which, when it gets that out of bounds, it takes a year to mean revert back to where it should be and go below and then come back up. I think what we've got right now is like these big sort of collapses of 50% in a multi-month, maybe 3 or 4 months of recovery. Well, we bought it took us 3 months and then another
from
2
May.
months to recline. So it's like that. It's kind of here to stay, is my opinion. That I don't think we're going to have this 4-year blow off top and then 1 year gap. It's just the always on phase now, and take that into consideration when I have to rebalance. Maybe I'm going to consider my risk. Everything is about adjusting your risk, your risk exposure. So yes, we're in a strong market, then we can allocate more. We may even add some leverage, small amount of leverage. I always say if you're going to add leverage, then unless really know what you're doing and doing 3x, 10x, I'm going, you want to handle any kind of pullback of even 50, 60% with your leverage. It means it's way low leverage.
1x, 2x.
Yeah. It's all risk. It's all about risk. I've seen many traders go win, and then they think they're better than the rest of the market, which they probably are, while winning trade after trade, but then they're wiped out and fully liquidated and they're zero,
Yep.
And that's all just handling risk. And so that's what these models are really best used for, is we're in an area where you can go risk on because it's strong. Here is risk off, and then take some money off the table, reallocate. I know we hate and we shit on fiat, but I still have a 10% bucket in cash at all times. And we're not actually in a bull market right now. We're setting up for a bull market because that model's not crossed over into a floor that will hold yet. With these new derivative instruments, what did we crashed from 6,000 to 3,000 back in tail end of 2018, right? That's the power of derivatives. It was 48 hours and a $3,000 50% drop. And that's going to break any model. Like my models work off on chain and fundamental spot demand, and you kind of think of that as what the price will mean revert around. If you can build a model around demand and supply on chain, that's where the long-term investors want to hold, value it. And when it drops lower, then eventually they come in and they buy it up, and and it gets too high, maybe they'll sell some. Everything else is a random walk of, it used to be liquidations of retail on BitMEX. Now it's liquidation of retail on Binance, and it's just crazy whipsawing, and there's no sense to the market other than this game of traders using huge leverage to take the other guys out. Until you get too far, you get too far out of that, then the fundamentals do come in and people will spot buy. And FOMO in, like we did recently, when we had that latest pullback below 40, even 42 on some exchanges. Retail bought that, really. They went and bought it spot. You could see that on chain. So,
before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information, and it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
The models work. They work, but any kind of price target, it's risky business. And timing, like you say, this stuff is very much, no one can predict price and time. If you do it, you're lucky. If you do it consistently well, then you're probably a whale making sure that your bet wins. which you do an options market, right? We know that.
Right.
We know that. I'm betting on this strike price. Let's make that happen. And then I get my cash out, and then I'll let it go find its norm again.
We're still in a phase where Bitcoin is very, very small compared to traditional assets. Institutional investors either flat out deny the asset, don't want to have it, think it's for criminals or bad for the environment and all this stuff you read in the mainstream media. They're still there. So I don't think the world is ready yet for hyper-Bitcoinization or the super cycle. I don't think we will be managed by greed right now and fear later on, and see another minus 80% after we top out at a couple $100,000. But there will be a point in time, and in that way it's a timing question. There will be a point in time later on, maybe after next halving in 2024, when the market is ready and ready for Bitcoin, but also ready to see that Bitcoin is the better money. Because it's scarcer than anything else. It's more divisible, it's more fungible, it's more portable, it's really mathematical and thermodynamically the best money there is. And as soon as people realize that, see that, then maybe the dollar is in trouble, and we'll have a global reserve currency that's called Bitcoin. But I guess my timing for that hyper-Bitcoinization or super cycle event is after 2024, maybe somewhere between 2024 and 32.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar, and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much, much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really, really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.